This is the third episode of the series. So in this one, what we're going to talk about is kind of the menstrual cycle and how it can affect weight loss, and talk about how a healthy diet and healthy and balanced diet is essential when kind of looking to lose weight or bulk up. So in our last series, we talked about kind of MyFitnessPal and how it's really good for kind of tracking foods. If you're unsure of how to use MyFitnessPal, if you go into my second episode, you can watch that, and I'll just kind of skim through on kind of the importance of tracking foods. For the purpose of today, we're going to talk about the menstrual cycle. So all the ladies out there, this will be quite good, quite be beneficial to learn about. Probably know about it yourself, but just go through it in a little bit more depth. So the menstrual cycle is kind of broken down into two phases. It's got the follicular phase and the luteal phase, and that's kind of over a 28-day window. So from day 1 to 7 is normally where you'll kind of have your period, and that would be in the follicular phase. So normally from day 1 to 14, I always get my kind of clients to kind of be in a calorie deficit, just because you won't have any cravings and it's a little bit easier to maintain. As we look to go into kind of day 14, this would be the ovulation. So this is where a woman's kind of most fertile, and they're more likely to kind of gain weight at this phase. So also this line kind of going up and down represents testosterone. So if you're kind of weight training, if you're at the ovulation phase, so in day 14, you're more likely to see an increase in your kind of lifts when weight training. So based on the graph, on the luteal phase, as we get down into the latter stage of the menstrual cycle, you're more likely to have cravings. So I always get my kind of clients to try and kind of snack on healthier kind of alternatives, such as kind of like pieces of fruit. So yeah, pieces of fruit is always good for kind of snacking on when you are in the latter stages of your menstrual cycle, just because you're kind of snacking on healthier foods rather than going for kind of like chocolate. So yeah, in the kind of later stages, or the latter stages of the menstrual cycle, you're more likely, your metabolic rate, so a woman's metabolic rate increases by kind of 200 to 300 kind of calories burned per day. So you're going to be more likely to have kind of like cravings for food. So it's always important to just make sure that you kind of have snacks, healthier snacks, such as kind of like fruit, just because if you're eating kind of like chocolate and kind of like processed foods, it's going to obviously affect your weight loss. So depending on where you are kind of in your kind of cycle, it's always good to kind of like track your foods, but you want to start it right at the start of the menstrual cycle, just because if you track it kind of on day kind of like 21, imagine that's like the latter stage of your period, it's going to be completely different, and you're going to be more likely to kind of like snack on really unhealthy foods. So what you want to do is just make sure that you track it throughout the whole, and just see if you kind of find any patterns. So yeah, that's just kind of like going through just the menstrual cycle. So there's two stages. So you've got your follicular phase and your luteal phase, and that's broken down into kind of 4 blocks. So if you are kind of like weight training or training in the gym or looking to lose weight, what you want to do is take your measurements at the block, at the start and at the end. So rather than doing it kind of every week or kind of every other week, you want to do it regularly and consistently. So if you were going to do your weight, you would do it on block 1 of the follicular phase. So you do your measurements such as your waist, hips and legs, and then you do it consecutively within every block, rather than doing it every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks. So that's just the kind of like menstrual cycle and how it's broken down into 2 sections. Just going to talk about kind of like a balanced diet as well, and the importance of kind of eating healthy. So if you're looking to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. That's kind of that's imperative if you're looking to lose weight. Depending on what food you eat, you need to have a balance within your diet. So if you're having lots of kind of like takeaways but still in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight, but you won't feel good. You feel really bad. So you want to make sure that you're eating the right amounts of food in your diet. So having the right vitamins and minerals and vitamins in your diet will make you kind of feel much better, because it will boost your immune system. So just making sure that you have a balanced diet, and so that's kind of like getting your 5 fruit a day in, you know, looking to kind of drink water, plenty of water to hydrate yourself. But yeah, just making sure like a healthy diet and a balanced diet is crucial when looking to lose weight. If you did have any questions on the menstrual cycle and how it affects your weight loss, just make sure that when you get to the latter stages of your period, and this can be different for everyone, just make sure that you're kind of putting kind of like healthier snacks in place rather than snacking on food that is kind of processed. Try not to be kind of disheartened, because you will have cravings just because of the hormones that are going around in your body. But yeah, you know, if you do have any questions on that, just drop me a message and I can kind of go through that with you.